Hey, this is Jackie, and I think we can learn a lot from kids if we just listen to them. But not just listen to them, if we ask the right questions. I just left a middle school for 3 days where I talked to eighth grade girls. And I asked them a question on one of those days about what would they do differently than their parents are doing if they were the parent. Like, how are you going to parent your kids differently? What is it that your parents doing that when you have kids, you're not going to do? Or what is it that they're not doing that when you have kids, you'll start doing? And got some very interesting answers. The first young lady said, I'm going to check my daughter's cell phone. And I said, so your parents don't check your cell phone? And she said about twice a year, but not nearly as often as they should. And she said, I'm not even doing anything bad on my cell phone. It's just that there's so much trouble that I can get into. And there's so many temptations that come with the cell phone that it would be a lot less likely for me to make poor choices if I knew that my cell phone was going to be checked. I thought that was really interesting. Another young lady said, my daughter's not going to have social media. But yet she had social media. But she recognizes that social media is not all good. She recognizes how stressful it is in her life, and she wants to prevent her daughter from going through that same stress. Another young lady said, I'm not going to yell at my daughter because when parents yell at us, we just shut down, and that's never good. Another young lady said, I'm not going to overreact when my daughter tells me things. She said, because parents don't understand that when they overreact, it makes us not want to talk to them at all. And she said, I'm not even talking about overreacting to choices that we made. She said, even when we share our feelings with them, if they overreact. Another young lady said, I'm not going to downplay my daughter's stress and compare it to what the stress was like when I was a teenager. She said, because it drives me crazy when my parents act like we don't have a reason to be stressed. Another young lady said, I'm going to put my cell phone and technology down and I am going to engage with my child. Another young lady said, I am going to spend more time with my children than my parents spend with me. And a lot of times parents think their kids don't want to spend time with them if they're teenagers. And sometimes that's just a way to check to see if you really want it. How badly do you want to fight for it? But another young lady said, if I see my kid acting out, getting upset, being sad, I'm going to try to get to the root cause and not just blow it off as just normal teen behavior and that I just have a bad child. I'm going to try to get to the root cause of their actions. The ones that I thought were, that really made me sad were the ones where they talked about their living arrangements with their parents. And so one young lady said, if I'm divorced, I'm not going to make my child choose between me and my ex-spouse. I'm not going to put my child in the middle. Another young lady said, if I'm a single parent, I'm not going to keep from my child who her father is, and I'm going to let her have a relationship with her father. Another young lady said, if I'm married, I'm going to try to keep the arguing between me and my spouse to a minimum. Because that was all of these young ladies' realities. And so I would encourage you to maybe ask that question to your kids. What is it that you would do differently if when you have kids, or if you were a parent, or once you have kids, what will you do differently? How will you parent your kids differently? Be prepared to listen to the answer and not overreact, as the young lady said. But I just really think that we could learn a lot from them if we ask them the right questions. Until next time.